Hello everybody, welcome. This is Stay Inspired with Dadson Ogbor on Television Nigeria. And today I'm talking about creating value. I think that value is something that is important. We need to understand what it is, and then we need to enhance the value that we create in our various endeavors. So let's start today by defining what the word value is. The word value is basically defined as relative worth, merit, or importance. So the question has to be asked, is what you're doing valuable enough? Does it have relative worth? Is it important? Is it important enough that you are gaining the attention that you require? So I like to go further by saying that your relevance is directly proportional to the value you provide. And that is something that is phenomenal. Just think about it. How relevant you are is directly proportional to the value you provide. So people will consult you if the product or the service that you're offering is valuable. Now, I'll go further also to talk about the fact that, that your significance cannot be separated from the value that you provide. How significant you are in this life is connected to the value that you provide. So in order to increase the value you provide, you have to do a couple of things that we'll be talking about on the show this morning. And increasing the value you provide also means that you are increasing your level of relevance. Now, businesses and individuals have to be relevant, have to stay relevant. And the way that you stay relevant is that you're providing value. Men and women of value would always be consulted. The reason why people prefer certain products to other products is simple. One particular product that is preferred has more value than the others who are not preferred. So I ask you the question, is what you're doing today valuable? Just think about it. If you separate yourself from what it is that you're providing, maybe your service, maybe you are on a job, you're working, you're getting paid for a service that you're providing, is it of value? Is it, now value obviously is in degrees. We'll talk about that some more as we proceed. So we have a lot of people who want to be valued. People want to be honored. People want to be respected. However, it does not always follow. For you to be valued, you have to offer something of value. You have to be a person who is consistently seeking for ways to improve people's lives, to solve the problems of people. And in order for you to do that, you have to understand where your space is and you function within that particular space. Okay, let's go further and begin to talk about this. We have a lot of people who want to be valued. However, we must understand that for you to be valued, you must offer something of value. You must offer something of value. People pay for value. Let me say this, that money is simply an exchange of value. So a lot of us have products or services that we're offering, and then you wonder why people are not buying. You need to ask yourself, why are they not buying? If your product has value, if what you're offering has value, if you're looking for a job and you are valuable, people would hire you. If the service that you're offering is valuable, people will come to you because you're providing that particular value. So value is something that's important, and we'll just consider a few questions as we go along on the show today. The question I'm asking you, I'm putting across to you is, what are you producing? You have to be producing something. And the next question is, what are you selling? What are you selling? A lot of people think that, well, when I ask the question, usually if I have the opportunity to be speaking to people and I ask them, what are you selling? And they're like, well, I'm not a salesperson. I'm not involved in selling any particular product. And but think about it. Anything you do, any service or product that you put out there is basically you engaging in selling. So what are you selling? Understand what that is. Is what you are selling valuable? Is it valuable? Does it have a lot of value to it? You cannot sell something for too long that does not work. You know, people sell all kinds of things. No matter how you brand something. Now, we live in a world where you walk into a shop, you want to see things that have fancy branding. We're attracted to those kinds of things. But you will not be able to deceive people for too long. If you're offering a service that you have branded perfectly because you understand how branding works, and you're putting that product or service in people's view, and they purchase that service or that product, after a while, you're not able to sell it back to them because the product lacks inherent value. A lot of businesses strive as a result of repeat customers. So you want people to keep buying from you. You want people to keep doing business with you. That's why it's important that you need to enhance the value that you offer. All right? So I hope that you're taking down notes. This is truly important for us. So value is in degrees. The more value you provide, the more relevant you become. It's as simple as that. So when you take particular companies who have been in existence for over 100 years, those companies are in existence and continue to be in existence basically because they're solving problems. So another word for creating value is that you're creating solutions to the problems that people have. So we need more people who are creating solutions in politics, in government, in medicine, in different fields of endeavor. And if you are consistent in solving problems, that means that you're consistently adding value. A lot of companies, like I talked about earlier, will remain in business because they're doing this. The same thing applies to individuals who create value, and they continue to remain relevant because they are creating value. People who spend time to develop themselves, people who take the time, who put in the energy. We have a lot of people who talk about things. And my first point is understand your space. I talked about this. I keep saying this. You cannot ask a fish to climb a tree because it does not have the ability to do so. So the first thing you need to understand is, what is my space? What am I good at? What is my passion? What am I passionate about? When you find what your space is, that's the time you need to spend time to develop yourself within that space and create value within that space. Understand this, that you cannot create value everywhere. I'm not able to create value everywhere. There are people who specialize in things, who are good, who are known for certain things. So the question is, what do you want to be known for? What are you known for? You cannot create value everywhere. There's a space that you are required, or you have been wired to function within. So create value from the things that you're passionate about. Create value from the things that you're passionate about. We're going to go further and talk about this a little more so you understand. So my next point is develop yourself consistently. Develop yourself consistently. Everything we consume in this life is processed. Think about it. Everything we consume is processed. So it's important that after you have found your space, you found something that you're passionate about, something that you can create some level of value from, that you begin to develop yourself. It's important. Companies spend time and spend resources, a lot of money, for research and development. But when it comes to personal development, a lot of people think that you can just wish for things to happen. No, it does not happen that particular way. For you to be exceptional, for you to be a person of value, you need to spend money, you need to spend time, you need to research be good, what you have said you're passionate about. You need to spend time and develop yourself in that particular area so that you can be a force to reckon with. People associate with valuable people. Did you catch that? I'm saying that people associate with valuable people. People associate with people who create value. So it's important that you become somebody who is creating value. My next point number 3, is anticipate problems. Anticipate problems, seek out and offer solutions. You need to anticipate problems. Now, for example, in Nigeria, we will be having elections next year, which is 2019. So sharp entrepreneurs are already thinking, how do I catch into that particular event that would happen for us as a nation? How do I position my business to be able to benefit? So you need to anticipate problems. Now, what makes you a valuable person is that you solve problems. In the place where you work, in your business, that you identify problems that you can solve. So I'm saying anticipate problems, seek out and offer solutions. Anticipate problems, seek out and offer solutions. When you have found the problems, you need to seek out what the solution is. You need to find solutions to this problem. That's how you remain relevant. So people pay for answers. Understand it. If you have a job today, you're basically paid to solve a particular problem. So I hope that you will begin to look for problems to solve. People generally, a whole lot of people run away from problems, but people who are exceptional, people who are valuable, are people who look for problems that they can solve. So there's always money in problems. So if you understand what problems you can solve, then ultimately you will be a person of value. Point number 4, understand your worth. This is important. Understand your worth. Do not let people undervalue you. Understand your worth. There are people who generally will not accept a salary of a certain amount because it's not pride, but they understand their worth. They know that the service that they're offering is valuable. So they will tell you simply, if you want to do business with me, this is how much I charge. So it doesn't matter where you are right now. Your worth is something that is progressive, so you can consistently increase and develop your worth. You do not have to have an exaggerated opinion of yourself. You do not have to have an exaggerated opinion opinion of yourself. Don't think too highly of yourself. That's not what I'm talking about. Understand where you are in terms of what you are offering, in terms of the value that you offer. So that understanding will help you begin to know where to channel your energy in terms of developing yourself. All right, let's go on. Point number 5. Develop your ability to sell. This is my final point for today, but I just like to spend some time to just explain this a little bit. Develop your ability to sell. As an entrepreneur, as a speaker, as a person in my capacity, I learned this a while ago, that for you to be relevant, you have to be able to sell. And people, when you hear the word sell, a lot of people think about selling products or selling services. We all sell ideas, we sell opinions, we sell things. So develop your ability to sell. Develop your ability to talk about, to communicate effectively about the things that you're passionate about. Now, the passion with which you talk about something is contagious, so it's important that you learn how to sell. People who do exceptionally well are people who know how to sell. All right? People who do exceptionally well are people who know how to sell. Now, these are principles that we've talked about that to help you begin to develop your value, to help you begin to understand that people will not hire you because they like you. People will not do business with you because they like you. That's fine in itself. It's good for people to like you, but it's also important that you offer something that is worthwhile. So think about this today as I wrap this up to say, what is it that you would want to provide? What are you offering to the world that has a lot of value? What are you offering to the world that has value? So look at ways that you can enhance that particular thing, and ultimately people will come knocking. People will consult you because you are good at what you do. Do not spend time. I find a lot of people, and I close on this note, a lot of people spend so much time and energy looking for people to follow them. It's good for people to follow you, especially on social media, people to see what you're doing, you're marketing yourself within that space. But it's important that what it is that you're offering has a lot of value. Okay, I hope you have taken something, a thing or two out of what I've been talking about, and you go out there and begin to create value. If these videos are helping you, I'd like you to share these videos, go on our Facebook page and like the videos, make a comment, ask questions, and let's connect with you and take the relationship to another level. Invite your friends to also watch these videos. We are creating value by offering this information to you so that you can also go out there and create value. Don't go away. I'll be right back and we'll go into our interview segment. We have a phenomenal lady that we have on the show today. You don't want to miss this. All right, stay with us. Hello everybody, welcome back to Stay Inspired with Dadson Ogbor, and today we'll be having a phenomenal lady. She's the fashion queen, Madam MEROLA in the building. Madam MEROLA is an entrepreneur, she's a business and life coach, she's a smart coach, and she's basically involved in adding value to people's lives and doing her own significant things. She's also the founder and chief executive officer of House of MEROLA. Welcome to Stay Inspired with Dadson Ogbor. Glad to have you here finally.
Thank you, Dadson, for having me on the show today.
Okay, you're so welcome. So I'm just going to this particular question I always ask everybody who comes on this show. What inspires you? You know, you cannot do the things you do if you're not inspired. So what inspires you?
For me, basically what inspires me is creativity.
Okay.
Creativity in the things that exist, and then how people can just come up with ingenious ideas to make something that seems ordinary and turn it into something extraordinary. So that's basically what inspires me as a person.
Fantastic. Okay, can you just tell us a little bit more about yourself? I know you're an entrepreneur and you're doing so many things I can't even begin to talk about. So I'll just let you do the talking. Tell us about a few things that you do and how you're adding value. Basically, you know, we've been talking about just basically adding value to the products or the services that we are offering, or adding value to people's lives.
Okay, well, as you know, I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur, so I do so many different things, but they're all linked together. Okay. One of the acronyms of what people call me is the band creator, because what I do is I inspire the beautiful, audacious, no excuses, God's masterpiece in people's life. And I do that through all the different businesses that I have. So House of MEROLA is the beauty revolution company whereby we sell confidence to people. We aid them in making them look more beautiful by using natural products only.
Okay.
So in House of MEROLA as well, we have a sister company called True ID Perfumes by MEROLA, which basically helps people to reflect their true identity through the scents that they wear. Then I have the Madame MEROLA Consulting arm, where we teach people on how to become a better version of themselves. We take them through a series of courses like Spark Your Genius. We also take them through image consulting, where we teach you personal branding, revealing the true nature of yourself to the world as you want them to see you from your own eyes. So those are some of the things that I do. Then, of course, I'm also the host of my own TV show, Living a Phenomenal Life, where I inspire, empower, and transform people's life by giving them tools and tips that will make their life a lot better.
Wow, that's fantastic. So I've been talking about like basically adding value, the most motivational TV thing that you do, even the things that you do in House of MEROLA, even the beauty products that you're involved in doing. That's about helping people. Generally, people use cosmetics also as a means of enhancing their mood, and which also affects their self-esteem.
Absolutely.
Which is obviously, that means you're adding value to people within that particular sphere, that particular space. So let me just pull out a little bit about from your entrepreneurship bank, so to say. Like, what do you think entrepreneurs need to do in order to be able to add more value to what they're doing? So you'd have like people who are in ICT, people who are in fashion designing. What do they need to do, in your own words, to add value?
Well, it's very simple for me. I'll say start with the why. Why are you doing what you're doing? If you can understand that it's all about giving somebody something that they want. It's not about you, but it's about your end target market. What do they need? What do they want? Or what do you even know they need, but they don't know that they need yet, right? That is where you start from. Then you will now be able to draw up a plan as to how you can show them or tell them that this thing is beneficial to them. So that way they understand that they're getting value for whatever you're giving to them. It will make it a lot easier, because many of the times entrepreneurs tend to focus on, oh, I have this ingenious idea. I've got this product and I think it's going to be good. But many of the problems that they're facing is that the target audience doesn't actually know that they need that product or they want it. So you need to paint a picture for them that lets them feel the emotion. Also, you can show them what they're going to derive from actually purchasing your products or your services, and then it will become a much easier journey for them as an entrepreneur.
Awesome. But let me put this to you, maybe you respond to this. A lot of people also, from what you've described, it's about being able to sell.
Absolutely.
Basically, like, if I have a product, if I have a service that I know it's good, I know is what people would need, but like you talked about, they don't even know that they need those products yet. There are companies who excel in doing those kinds of things. So like most entrepreneurs would say, well, I don't need to know how to sell, so I have to probably hire someone else to do the selling for me. So what would be your response to that?
Oh my God, I beg to differ. I believe every single human being on earth was born to sell. We're all selling something. From the moment we came out of our mother's womb and we cried out, we were crying for attention. We were selling ourselves to them that, hey, focus on me. If you don't know how to sell, you're going to be extinct in life, because there's nothing that you have that you want somebody else to actually value, that you will give to them if you don't know and master the art of selling. So it is a key requirement for whatever you're doing in life. Even if you're an employee, you're selling your skills to your employer. If you are a business owner, you're selling your services or your product to your target market. You must invest in learning how to sell. That's why people struggle, because they can't even articulate clearly to their target market why and what and the benefits that they are going to give to whoever they're trying to sell their product to. And that is why people are not really making traction in their businesses, because they've not learned the art of selling.
Okay, so let's take this a step further. What steps would you give to someone that there are people, you speak to a lot of entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
And I speak to a lot of entrepreneurs as well. So you find that people would say, how do I even begin? You know, you talked about, it's fantastic. You're saying, I like the way you put it, like you must develop the ability to sell.
Yes.
So, and I'm saying, okay, well, yeah, I must do it. Yes, but how? You get, how do I begin? Where do I start from? You know, like, I'm not even used to speaking in public or to talking to people. Now, I have this great idea, but how do I start?
Well, I'm going to say that's not an excuse. Because if you really, really, really believe in whatever you're doing, then you're going to have to do some of the uncomfortable things to be able to gain the traction that you desire. You start off, first of all, by defining it to yourself. That why do you need this product? Why did I create it? That's not even as important as to the customer. What is in it for me? So if you can think about that and then craft what I call an elevator pitch or a sales pitch that would help you to be able to say all these things in less than a minute, that pinpoints to the target market why they need that product. It would always help you as a conversation starter to tell anybody in a very, very short frame of time exactly what the end result is going to be for them. Then they can now ask you extra questions, and then you are also going to be able to deliver. So it starts with product knowledge or service knowledge. You must acquire all the information that you need and know it by heart so that when they ask you, you're ready to deliver the answers. And I always say, always under promise and over deliver. So don't even give away every single thing that you have. Under promise whatever it is that you're going to want to give to them so that when they actually physically use your products or use your services, they are wowed because you've gone over the promise that you've given to them.
So you have a lot of products you have on offer. You even the personal development, capacity building products or services that you offer. Those are products,
absolutely,
as well as the physical products that you have. Now you've also been able to sell these products online. You know, like I find myself speaking to a lot of moms as well. There might be a mom who's watching and saying, "Well, I have a passion for a particular thing." And well, I don't own a shop, but I heard that it's possible for me to sell on Instagram or to sell on Facebook and basically just connect with my network. What would you say to such people?
Yes, you can sell. Thank God for technology now. You can sell anything to anyone, anywhere via social media or through your website or your blog. All I always say to people when they say that, oh, you know what, I don't know how, it's very simple. I just say that, first of all, what do you want to sell? Right? Make sure that you craft out like a pitch as to let people know and make sure that you're visible and consistent. So stay focused on what it is that you want to do and let people know by showing up every single day via whatever social media you want to use. So it doesn't matter if you're using Facebook or Instagram. It doesn't even matter if all you do is send out a newsletter or whatever, but consistency is the key. And also authenticity. You need to stay true to your message. You need to stay true to exactly what you are trying to do. So for instance, I said that I'm all about selling confidence. Every single thing I do is inspired by that word. That is this thing going to deliver confidence building to whoever is going to buy this product, whoever is going to buy the service, or whoever is going to have any kind of usage for my products or services. If it doesn't, then I just delete it because every single thing that I do stems from building confidence in people. Yeah.
Okay, so your whole business is centered around that. So I think that's phenomenal because people need to have. I was speaking to a couple of young people, and I said you have to understand what drives you.
Absolutely.
And that's what you're talking about. Like you have to understand what drives you. What mindset are you operating from? What are the things that you say, okay, this is the reason why I do what I do. Like I'm passionate about this and this is why I do it. Now there are people who have gone through very difficult times in their lives and having come out of those challenges, they now have developed the passion to go back and teach other people on how they can come out. Now, this is the experience I have coaching and mentoring people. When you tell people, okay, this is what you need to do A, B, C, D, and you have people say, well, that's too difficult or that's hard, I will try, and people are not as motivated. And for those of us who are like, why can't you just see that you can do this? Why can't you just see that you have what it takes to deliver? And then people will say, well, I'm not like you. You guys are like, so they always believe that if you're passionate about something, that there's something you have that they don't have. What would you say to that?
It's very simple. To thyself be true.
Okay.
I believe that many people are struggling because they've not yet even discovered who they are.
Okay.
The reason why I'm able to do all the things I do right now is because I went through what I call the awakening process.
Yeah.
I went through this process whereby, just as you mentioned, I had a lot of challenges. I had a lot of difficulties. I went through domestic violence.
Wow.
And for someone else, that could have been the end of their dreams. But for me, I decided there must be a lot more to my life than what I'm doing currently. Because at that time, all I was just an entrepreneur. I was just creating products that I believed had value to people. I became a life coach because I realized that people have the wrong mindset about things, especially themselves. And that is why my focus is always about starting with the core of who you are. If you know yourself, if you understand yourself, your confidence rises. Then you're able to start tapping into your unleashed potentials that lies within you, because within each and every one of us is a seed of greatness.
Sure.
Every single person was created with a talent, with a gifting that if they unleash it into this world, it will show them up as a phenomenal, a legendary person in their sphere of influence. Just as you rightly said in the beginning of the show, that a fish cannot be asked to climb a tree.
Sure.
Find your own space or habitat, and then start to cultivate and develop whatever it is that you have in your hand. So I always ask them, what is it that you've got in your hand?
Sure.
It doesn't matter how small it is. It doesn't matter how insignificant it might be to other people. The bottom line is you must allow it to grow.
Okay.
You must feed it. You must nurture it. And then when people can start to see the fruits emanating out, then they will now start to take notice of you. Okay. That is why I said focus is important. Start by learning about yourself. Discover more about your passion. Discover more about the things that are your strengths, the things that people have always complimented on you, but you took them for granted.
Sure.
Then use those things and then start to unleash your plans, your projects, your passion. And then from there, people start to see that, yes, there is something in you that we were undervaluing before. But now that you've crafted it together, you've packaged it in such a way, and you've been building on it, they'll start to take notice of you as an influencer, as someone that makes a difference with that gift.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it goes to talk about what I originally mentioned about the fact that people consult people who have value. So if you enhance the value that you have, people would definitely consult you, and you'll have a lot more business people or businesses coming your way because you're creating value.
Absolutely.
Right, let's end on this note. Yeah, you are a lot of things, all right? And as a woman who's an entrepreneur, who's doing exceptionally well for yourself, how do you find the time to create the balance between family and everything you do?
Well, everything I do stems from the fact that I believe that we were all created to do something, and that nobody's gifting or talent is insignificant. So it doesn't matter to me how many hats I wear as a wife, as a mother, as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I just believe that I was created for a purpose.
Absolutely.
I must fulfill my purpose. So all I need to do is just give everything its time and place.
Okay.
And then say that, you know what? All these other hats that I wear are very, very good. But the bottom line is, God created me to fulfill purpose.
Absolutely.
I must fulfill that purpose no matter how many hats, no matter how many things I put my hands into.
Wow.
Because I was born to be an igniter.
Okay.
So in all those different positions that I'm in, I look for ways to ignite people to become the very best version of themselves.
Wow.
So I do that to my children. I do that So if I'm working as an entrepreneur, putting on my entrepreneurship hat, I'm saying, how can I ignite people to become better? If I'm working as a coach, how can I ignite my clients to become better? So it doesn't matter to me. And I don't believe that being a woman is a disadvantage in any way, because I don't like to use that as an excuse. Rather, I just use it as a blessing. I say that we were created to be multi-talented and multitasking. So I can do all these things because I am more capable as a woman to be able to do it without stress. So for me, it's a great thing to be a woman woman that has many, many different projects, and I'm able to do it without giving myself too much stress or going crazy doing it at the same time.
Absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so very much. We've been talking with Madam MEROLA. We could go all day talking about this. She's a woman that's full of passion, and just spending time with you like ignites a lot of ideas in me as well. So thank you so much for coming and for honoring us with your presence and talking to us and sharing these principles with us. Thank you so much, Madam MEROLA. And to all of you watching, let me say this to you as we close, that it's not enough for you to hear something and like it and say, well, okay, wow, Madam MEROLA sounded knowledgeable about the things that she was talking about. It's not enough for you to say that, wow, okay, you guys are good at what you do. But I'm challenging you today to go do something about what you have heard. Go out there and create value. All right, everybody, that's our show for today. We've been speaking to Madam MEROLA. It's not enough for you to take the things that you have heard and say, okay, well, you guys were fantastic. Madam MEROLA shared a lot of things on the show today, and that's good. But it's important that you take what you have heard and begin to do something about it. You begin to add value where you are. If you have a job or you're a business person, go out and create value. You've seen, if you're a woman, you're a mom, sitting at home, there's so much that you can do. The truth, somebody said something to me once, said, a success leaves clues. So if you find someone who's successful at a particular thing, it's proof that when you find out what they did to get to where they are and you begin to do those things, you would eventually get the same kinds of results. So I'm saying to you today, if you've been watching these videos and following us, I'm challenging you, I'm encouraging you as well to go and like these videos, share these videos with your friends. We're basically putting these videos out as a means of adding value to the lives of the people who are connected to us. So share these videos with your friends and go on our Facebook page, TVN Nigeria, Television Nigerian, to watch the other videos that we have. And our social media handles are on the screen, and other means of contacting us will be on your screen. So connect with us. If you have a question from this particular show that you would like to ask our guest, or that you have questions for me as well, please drop it on the comment box, and we'll definitely get in touch with you. All right, that's our show for today. So we'll see you again next week. Make sure you create value from today. Bye-bye.